Cormac and I actually enjoyed this film. Is that even the tune for it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just doing something.
Cormac's tired, I think both.
I'm wrecked tired. I did a 12.5-hour shift yesterday.
And I did a... Hold on. Joy's doing maths in her mind.
People are still awing from my 12.5-hour shift. So
9 and then 2 hours of travelling.
Oh, well, I didn't take into account my travelling, so that would have been like 13 hours.
Oh, shut up. Alright, it doesn't matter. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Film Fans Podcast. I know you're probably disappointed this is not Avengers yet. Don't worry, we'll get there. But until then, we watched Blockers by Kate Cannon, which is our first feature film as a director. She's written for Pitch Perfect, the overall series, which was pretty cool, and you could see it in this film. Even though she wasn't the writer, I really felt that kind of
Yeah, it did have a...
Now, actually, this will bring back what Cormac and I were discussing, just just tones in comedy.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, with Pitch Perfect, Jump Street, Bad Moms, the one with Kevin Hart and The Rock in it with the school reunion.
Get Hard, I think it was called, maybe.
No.
I don't know. Don't put 21 Jump Street into that category, though.
Alright, how about the sequel to it?
That was also brilliant.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're bad. Look, I'm not saying any of these is bad. I'm just saying...
I'd say some of them are bad.
Oh God! See, this is interesting for me because you don't seem to like this film when you were laughing just as much as I was.
I was.
The theater, which wasn't quite full, a lot of people were laughing.
They were
the jokes.
absolutely, yeah.
Then why do you immediately think ugh?
I don't immediately think ugh.
You did when I asked you what did you think of it.
That was after watching the film. That's not my immediate reaction.
So far it's been negative though. I'd have to...
No. If you remember, when we came out of it, I said when it was good, it was brilliant. But when it wasn't, it was on the scale of okay to awful.
No,
and most of the time I felt it was awful.
So you're laughing is laughing
okay,
at the awful? Because I didn't think any of it was awful. The worst would be, this is fine, I've seen it before in films, I'm waiting for the good stuff to come back.
Yeah. See, one of my favourite genres of film is... So bad it's good films. When it comes to comedy, for me, I just like jokes, and it doesn't take much to make me laugh. But when you have a comedy film, a lot of them I tend not to enjoy unless they're put together. If it is a matter of here's your script full of jokes, the reading out the jokes, sure enough I'll laugh at the jokes, but I will come away not liking the film because that's all there is to it. You just get that surface value of jokes, and you can get jokes anywhere. I'm going to the cinema to get a good story, get good acting. And I'm not saying there wasn't good acting in this, because there was, and I was very surprised with one of the leads. He was fantastic. We'll get their name now in a second as Joy tries to secretly open up her phone.
Oh God, this is going to be very hard to pronounce.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Ike Barnaholtz.
I'm going to Google him.
Are you sure that's it? Does it look like him?
Yeah, that's
it is.
him.
It's definitely him.
It's him.
Okay, Ike Barnaholtz.
He's having a baby. Oh, that's nice.
Congrats, Ike.
He was in Central Intelligence. That's where he looked familiar. And in
Central Intelligence, that was the...
Actually, do you know what? He's actually in a lot of these comedies that we mentioned.
Yeah, he is. And that's why...
I was looking at him going, I feel like I've seen you in this role before.
Yeah. Actually, the first time I remember seeing him in a film was in Disaster Movie, where he played a load of different characters.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing him there, and I thought...
Disaster film, I don't think.
No, Disaster Movie. He is.
Oh, he is. Sorry, I missed that.
He played a load of different characters.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I remember watching
when they were a thing?
Yeah,
they used to be like, wow, those kind of disaster, B-roll films, and now they're just, they stopped more. But remember, the last one was kind of
Haunted House, I think was the last one.
No, that one was but that wasn't as popular. But the one before that was Mocking Twilight and all that. And I remember watching it because I was curious. And I remember
Vampires Suck, I think.
Oh, that was so bad.
I never saw it. Anyway, back to this film.
He was brilliant.
Yeah, no, there was a lot going for this film, and it was really, really good in parts. But overall,
It was fine.
It was a little bit short of fine. And in my book anyway, it was just a little bit short of fine because, and listen, comedies are very difficult to
yeah.
get right. One comedy that I do love in the last few years is Pitch Perfect, and I think it when you're making a comedy, you need to make sure your tone is set.
Yeah.
And you stay consistent with that tone throughout the entire film, because if you're jumping from scripted comedy to, serious moments, bring a bit of levity into it, directly back into the scripted comedy, that just it's jumping all over the place. I think with Pitch Perfect, it stuck mostly with the with the scripted comedy, but the theme of of friendship and like togetherness and camaraderie between the singing group was the prevalent theme. And that's what was driving the film. It wasn't the comedy, it was that theme.
Yeah.
And that's what set the tone, and the comedy helped to bring that tone, that theme forward. Whereas in this one, it's very clear that they were given a script with all these jokes. They were told to say these jokes and do the farcical.
So it's, instead of a story leading these characters, it was that I want to tell this joke. So how do we get to this joke?
Yeah, and like the premise for this film as well, where it's parents that are trying to stop their daughters from having sex on prom night. Like, that is just as stupidly cliche as you can get, and it's very clear that this wasn't a story concept. This was, these jokes are funny, they'd be funnier in this context. Yeah. Okay, fine, we'll use that. Story didn't drive this, the jokes did. Yeah. And that's what destroys a comedy, I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. There was a scene with the mother of one of the girls who wasn't a part of the three parents going after them, saying you wouldn't do this if it was a boy. And I was like, well, yeah, these are good points that they're making. And
it goes
apart
nowhere.
from one character, to be honest, it kind of goes nowhere apart from one character. But the parents still stopped one of the characters decided not to have sex but to enjoy herself. And he stopped that. Now, obviously, she said later on that she had something, but... I felt like it wasn't the daughter, like the daughter's realization is like, oh, actually, I don't want to have sex, I'll have this. And then the dad has his moment, and I'm like, well, it's not really about, like, who's it about? Is it about the daughter realizing she doesn't want to have sex, or is it the dad realizing that he's brought up his daughter and she knows what to do? So is it about trusting his daughter or about her making a decision? Like, I felt like there wasn't the weight was kind of shifting back and forth, and it was like, okay, who's in charge of this? Is it The Rock or The Rock's daughter? I'm calling him The Rock because I can't remember.
Okay, it's John Cena, but
oh my god. Sorry John.
Anyway,
sorry, Rock.
I think in these films, that's a character progression method where you take the character arc of your main characters and put them into something else. In this case, it was their kids, and
but I don't think the ending was strong enough.
No,
it's like you're spreading too much Nutella on 2 slices of bread. You don't have enough, so just put it on one bread.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think obviously the studio didn't take the rest with that.
I don't know who did this.
The director.
No, what was the studio?
Oh God.
Okay, anyway, there's a lot of promising elements to this film that end up just going nowhere.
I think it would have done much better, but I think it was fine. Like, to be honest, comedies aren't really the big game changers anymore. They're not like the, oh my goodness, this is social commentary, or this is this, or this is, there's no impact. Unless, like, now, over the next 10 years, we can say, oh, there was a pattern, which I think there is a pattern of scripted comedy, and they don't really stand out to me. They just kind of blur into, or we could watch, now, let's say, if we go to a party, they say, oh, let's watch Blockers, or let's watch, Neighbours. Now, I prefer Neighbours 2, but
Bad Neighbours 2, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the soap.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah.
Neighbours. But like Bad Neighbours and Blockers, they all have kind of the same feel, the same walk. I feel like if you put on the background, there's some people gonna feel it's fine and some people are gonna laugh at it, but it's just
Well, see,
it's flavourless.
I wouldn't say that about Bad Neighbours. I would say it about
No,
Bad
I
Neighbours
think-
too.
Bad Neighbours 2 was, I felt, had a little bit more depth in it compared to Bad Neighbours 1. But, I feel like overall most of those films I've mentioned, the comedy films, have the same kind of level of comedy. Now some might be a little bit better than others, but I feel like they all feel similar. They really do.
okay.
And like even your man who plays Hunter, what's his name?
Ike, is it?
Yeah, he's been in a lot of those films, and the
Yeah.
fact that we can recognize him going, are you that character who, you know, is
Yeah.
the bum in the group? You know what I mean? It's the same kind of format.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we're kind of like you kind of get with superhero films, but now they're developing more. But with these comedies, I feel like they feel. Now, there's nothing wrong with these comedies. They're a good laugh. I enjoyed myself. You enjoyed yourself. But I just feel like there's not a lot of depth, and I think we're kind of losing out in good, funny, with deep meaning comedy.
Well, okay, sorry. That's like, I don't think a comedy needs to have a deep meaning.
No,
behind
it doesn't. But it was trying to shoehorn in.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's where the tone kind of goes all
Yeah.
over the place. Like, if you're going to go out and out comedy, like one of the best comedies of all time, Anchorman.
Oh my god!
Go with that.
Go
If you're
nuts, go over.
yeah, exactly. But if you're going to have a semi-serious piece that with comedy elements, go with that. You know, like you know, you can't, you know, have your cake and eat it too, or in this case, eat half the cake and then eat half the
Eat
slice.
half the cake and then try and make it into something else. You're like, stop it. You've made a decision. Go
Yeah.
with it. And that's a lot with studios nowadays. About, you know, we all know this. There's a lot of stuff is being rehashed, and then the stuff that does really well. So let's say the two films that come to my head, obviously Black Panther, Get Out, The Hidden Figures, the Three Billboards. Like, you know, they push and they do something new, but not like too like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah, this
like,
is
you know,
great.
they
Yeah.
just kind of went, well, let's just move the camera to the left a bit. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's the same people writing similar stuff again and again. To be honest, I feel like it is with some of the, for me, those comedies kind of, I could put them all in a box and this could be my rom-com from 2010 to 2018. And that happens with decades with films. You know, there's social commentary, like, with, let's say when, you know, the wife was saying, oh, you wouldn't do this to the boy. I'm like, well, if this was, let's say, 8 years ago, that wouldn't have been mentioned.
No, definitely not.
And then are they trying to kind of say, oh, look, we're putting in a message for young
Well,
parents.
that's just pandering to as many audiences
It
as
is.
they can, and like
It
you
is.
know,
It's spreading the Nutella
Yeah.
across the two slices of bread nearly.
like comedy will you know, it'll bring itself to so many different audiences because like people like horror or they don't.
Yeah.
People like action or they don't. People like
And
superhero.
look, horror has
Everyone
this-
likes comedy though.
Yeah, and let's say horror has the same thing. You either got the, you know, the jump scares or the something moved in the foreground, add a bit of music.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the problem with this is, and it's the reason why I was laughing so much. It's easy to make people laugh. But if you ever see me watching Monty Python or Anchorman, I'd never stop giggling to myself.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I see the funny moment and I laugh, and that's it.
And
It doesn't stick with me.
It's like, I could tell you jokes from Monty Python. This film now, the only one I can kind of remember, the first one that comes into my head is not even a joke. It's when the two characters make eye contact. So when Austin's parents are having sex and John Cena's character makes eye contact with the dad, and that's the only one. But that's visual.
Yeah.
And I remember that because that's visual. I do like visual comedy. Like, you know, that your simple slapstick.
Oh,
It's
it
really
does
good.
wonder.
And like,
Yeah.
even when they were doing this moment where they couldn't talk but they were whispering to each other, they did titles. Like, that was funny.
That was funny, yeah.
That was funny. But the fact that you and I are now trying to picture that scene,
And yeah.
but that was mainly, you know, obviously there's a bit of text, but a lot of that was visual.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feels like we're bashing this film kind of, but overall, like, I enjoyed it. Like, if we went with other people, I feel like we would be chatting about this.
Absolutely.
You know.
See, no, like it would be wrong to say that I didn't enjoy it. I definitely did, and I think when, and I said this earlier in the podcast, when it was good, it was great, because there were a lot of moments that as I was watching it, I was thinking, okay, this is actually going somewhere. This is moving things forward.
Yeah.
And then it just snapped right back into the formulaic mess that a lot of these
Kinda
comedy movies have.
It's like a paddling board, you know, like the ball goes back and forward
yeah.
and bounces back
Yeah.
and forward.
I know that this isn't what you're saying, but just thought of Ball in a Cup. That classic 80s toy. Was
Yeah.
it the 80s? I don't know.
I don't know. It was older than us.
Ball
How
in
about
a
that?
cup. Ball in a cup.
Sassy.
It's a ball in a cup.
Let's see.
Oh
Right.
crap, Fox might content ideas for that song.
Hi,
Sorry, Fox.
Don't apologise to Fox.
Yeah, you fucking ruined that one.
Let's think. All right, characters. I enjoyed them. I could tell each character apart. They had their own personalities. The girls had different personalities, which was great. Because
Yeah.
that's what I was kind of coming in going, okay.
That was all down to the
was
director,
like,
I feel.
Oh,
I think she
definitely.
got it.
Well, like, I'm not sure about the writers now, because the writers look like they're two brothers, but I
Yeah,
don't know the
that's-
writers. But she's the director, but she was the writer in the Pitch Perfect films.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of came in. I was like, okay, I can feel this writing, this relaxed. So maybe she directed the dialogue in a way that naturally. Now some bits I was kind of like, girls don't say that, but at the same time I wasn't saying that as much. Normally I'm like, girls, we don't really announce things like that. You've got one person who does that, no one's that comfortable at the age of 18 to say that. But actually, I felt these realistic. Rant over.
No, that's something I wanted to say to you as well. It really felt like a competent female director was taking a male written script about women and girls and making it better.
Yeah.
It really, like, yeah, like you said, a lot of the dialogue, it was kind of plain to see that this was written by a dude. Or dudes.
Like when one of the characters, she's like, y'all got down and ate me out. I'm like, yeah, that's good, like, in my pussy or something. I'm like, you don't need to say the word pussy, because you can say the word pussy. Girls don't say the word pussy unless you want to, but girls don't do that. They go, and they point at shit, and, you know, girls just go, I understand that reference. Like, you know, I would say show it, don't say it, but, like, you know,
I can't show that.
Yeah, I know, but, like, you know, express it through.
This is a 15, 16, right, film? I don't know. We don't know how old those girls are.
They're 18, they're graduating.
In the film? I don't know how
Yeah,
old
they're probably mid-20s. No way they're going to get an 18-year-old. Oh, lol. No, I'm really delighted for this director. As, like, if that was my first film coming out, you know,
props, you did.
I would be delighted.
You did well with what you had, but I don't think what you had was great to begin with.
I feel like, I don't know, I'm going to have to read up on this, because Cormac and I really just saw the credits. So I don't know if she got in the script writing, because, you know, that goes through like a billion people. But,
oh god, yeah.
And actually, you know, I'm just thinking about that now. Nothing was really like. What was nice about it is there was no creepy shots that you get in some comedies where girls are dancing or boys are dancing, and they're really like, especially since this is about sex. None of this was like, oh, look, she's got boobs, let's show them in a close-up shot. You know, none of that. And that was nice, because you're not sexualizing quite young kids, 17, 18. And then same with the boys. And I actually...
No Bayhem in it.
I actually really like the boy...
Michael Bay. I'm sorry, you got me thinking. This is your fault.
It's not my fault for pointing out that this happens in a lot of films.
I know, but like you should have expected I'd start thinking about Michael Bay.
How do you think I feel as a girl, constantly thinking about it as well? But you know, you just do what a lot of people just push down your anger. Just sit on it, and we'll talk.
Michael Bay, if ever I come across you, you're getting a punch in the face.
You can't punch Michael Bay.
Someone has to.
Yeah, not you.
Why not me?
Because give it to someone else. Like
okay,
Oprah,
right, guys. If I get enough likes and comments on this video.
Okay, if someone actually likes and comments on this video, I will actually like get. I don't know what.
Don't you dare take punching Michael Bay away from me. That is my.
No, that's gonna be someone else. But let's see. The date characters were actually pretty good. I was worried that maybe they're gonna be just.
Stereotypes,
but they weren't.
One's a nice guy, one's an asshole.
They actually made them really unique and actually quite nice, and not kind of like dickheads. Because I thought, the parents are going to be right because the boyfriends are going to be dickheads.
Yeah,
the boyfriends were just as nervous, nearly.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I really liked about it, because that wasn't going that far into the whole formula of that kind of a film.
Yeah, the parents against the boyfriends, but it was just the boyfriends going, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Like,
and it's also it's a good message for, like, you know. I imagine that the audience this is aimed at are boys and girls of that age who are going through that sort of stuff, and it's a nice message for them as well to be like, you know,
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then the character Sam and her, like, so obviously they make this pack and Sam feels pressured to go into it, and I felt worried that, remember when there's three kind of friends, two or more best friends and one is the side wheel, and they didn't make her side wheel, which is great, you know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
so she came out as gay, and
Which they also handled that really well.
they did that really well, but they had this great character, the girl she had the crush on had this cape, and every time she came on I was just like, ah,
And
but it
also-
wasn't done in a mocking way, it was actually
Yeah.
done in a, like, we've all had that moment where we see someone or maybe something, we're like, oh, holy shit,
Yeah.
but it wasn't done slow-mo stupid way, it was done in a creative funny way where that character, even though she was in like what 3 or 4 times, you knew exactly
Yeah,
what
you
that
knew
character was like.
And that's actually another thing I really liked about the characterization. Is like everyone's unique, but no one's a stereotype.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things, you know, this character would have been exceptionally nerdy, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Star Trek kind of thing. But it wasn't. This was clearly just a girl who likes this shit. But that's it. Like they weren't hitting home the stereotypes. It was just.
And
This
they
was a
didn't
no-
make it like when Hunter, the kind of the divorced dad, was with
Oh yeah.
was with Sam, his daughter. They didn't make Sam like, oh dad, I'm so forgiving. They made Sam like a typical teenage kid going, well, fuck you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
which was nice. I think this is a good.
And actually, I think that relationship more so than the other two parents and their
was
kids.
more realistic.
A lot more realistic because
yeah.
like I like Ike's character Hunter, is that his name, Hunter?
Yeah.
Such a sympathetic, like by far the best part about this film. I loved it. I would love to see him in more
Now,
roles.
if this was about him and maybe other two parent characters, and it wasn't comedy, but I feel like this would be a comedy, but if it was done smartly about how he is trying to reconnect with his kids, I feel like this is probably a film somewhere.
That's what I really was hoping, because at the start of it, it looked like it was going in that direction where
Yeah,
he
like
was just
he
going to be a
was gonna be the
foil
main-
for the other two idiot parents'
Yeah.
plans. But then there was a moment where he fell into their group and it kind of ruined him. He came back out of it towards the end.
Yeah.
And then fell back into it. And again, like that's where
I
the
feel
tone...
like I actually noticed at the start, you got to focus on, the mom and the daughter. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, we know who you are. We know your sit up, like how much gelled you are. And then you got John Cena and his daughter. You got that sit up. You're like, okay, I know what your relationship is. And then we didn't get Sam's relationship, and that was kind of shoehorsed in, because I immediately went, it felt like it was kind of like, oh, look at Frank, this is the stepdad, but it didn't really kind of give a lot of wonder. You know, you can make like they could have made snide remarks, or they
Yeah.
could have been like, oh honey, I'm sorry you're dead, you know, something that we could have an idea of what the character's like. And then when he arrives, like, because when he arrived I kind of went, well, I don't know if she's annoyed at him apart from that one, like she cancelled a, you know what I mean, there wasn't enough depth, because then I was just like, oh, is this like...
But that was teased out really nicely in the film, I think.
No, at the start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
No,
they gave that intro.
No, I didn't think.
You didn't think so?
I
No?
wanted more.
Okay.
More, like, apart from the phone call. Because that could have been, oh, I'm annoyed that my dad's calling me at this time because I'll see him tomorrow. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah.
know how much time. I didn't know how much he'd been away. You got that more near afterwards, but I
Yeah.
wanted a bit of depth before. Like, you knew, like, the main character and the main mom, I've completely forgot their name, I'm terrible with it, but you knew they were together because, you know, they woke up, they brushed their teeth, you know, you got this and you straight away you knew. For Sam's character, not as much. Now, obviously, as it got on, it got much better, but this, just at the little intro, just a little more intro would have been
I
nice.
really have to disagree with you on this one.
Grand.
Because I hated the whole routine of Leslie Mann and her daughter getting up and brushing their teeth and doing everything together.
Okay.
It was very much, here's the situation, look at it, look at how close they are, and this is clearly going to
Oh
be
no,
ruined.
just that might be more over, like kind of overexpressed
Yeah,
for you. For
I
me,
thought
feel
it
like,
was the same with
okay.
John Cena and his kid, and I thought,
John Cena. Sorry. Every time I saw him on
how
screen.
dare you?
What?
I interrupt you. You don't interrupt me.
Oh, I'm sorry. A woman should never interrupt you.
You're literally arguing
Oh,
for
you
interruption.
walked into that indignant. No, I'm joking. Cormac and I love each other deeply after we hit each other.
But anyway, I feel that that Hunter and Sam, their relationship was done so much better than the others, because I like the subtlety. Like you say, you thought you wanted more from the.
I wanted
from
just
the-
a little
there's
bit
not-
more.
I thought it was perfect. I thought it was more than
Okay.
what we needed, because that was a subtle indication that there's something off.
Yeah.
And then it was teased out bit by bit throughout the film.
Well,
and you got to learn more about why there was this divide, this separation, and this distance between the two characters.
I did enjoy them in the end. I think just because it's a comedy, it obviously had to do A, B, and C. So if this wasn't a comedy, I think it would have been stronger, but it is. But at the end, I did like his ending with his daughter because it wasn't about him, it was about her.
Yeah. Well,
with John,
no.
a bit more her. I feel like he was there for her instead of him saying.
That was for him because he'd been absent.
Well, no, like.
Oh, spoilers, by the way.
Oops. No, like with John Cena, he's like, I need to protect you, and the mum comes in like, I need to protect you, stop you because you're making them. And he came in going, I think you're gonna make a bad choice because I know you. Like, I feel like there was something different. I'd probably have to overthink it to try and get a good answer. But I feel like he had. Because he knew she was doing it because she wanted something else. Yeah. He's not saying, no, you can't have this. He's saying, well, no, I know you don't want this. You know you don't want this. And then, sorry, but the mom tried to get out of the room because the dog was
hilarious. That was hilarious.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Like, that was, I was like, oh, she's going to get caught. It's going to be awkward. And they didn't do that moment. I was kind of like, yay, difference. And I was like, yay, there's something.
Yeah, and that's what I mean when they say, like, there were times where it seemed to be coming out of the trap it was.
Yeah, because I was expecting her to get caught any minute.
It did keep falling back in on itself a few times, though. But
yeah,
anyway,
but look,
guys, listen, I've been holding this cough in for almost the entire podcast, so enjoy this. Okay, thank you. Let's return.
That's really fucking dramatic for me. So.
Just didn't want to come out of nowhere.
Wait, is this March or is this April podcast?
This is the March podcast. April is Infinity War.
Okay.
Which I must tell our little story.
I will put up the text conversation.
No, don't put up that text because there's a typo in it that kind of
I'll
adds hilarity.
scribble out the typo.
Okay. Anyway, let me tell the story.
Once upon a time.
No. Let me tell the story.
Okay. Because Cormac loves telling stories.
I do love telling stories, and you guys love it. You love hearing my voice.
No, I don't.
Anyway, so. As you guys know, Joy has a tendency of talking quite a bit.
I just do that to Cormac till I know because it annoys him. I'm actually really quiet in cinema with other people.
She's never once been quiet in the cinema with me during our entire podcast run. But anyway.
No, I think that's a bit dramatic. I think that's a little bit dramatic. I think it was only since Blade Runner.
Okay, you see what I mean, guys? Anyway. So, obviously, Infinity War is a very special film for the two of us that will be coming out soon.
You sound like it's like we're going to have sex at Infinity War, so we're going to lose our virginities.
Oh, Jesus.
I put that image in your head.
Yeah, you did. Okay, let's get that right. Infinity War's coming up, and our local cinema, the Arc Cinema Drogheda, bit of a plug there, is doing a midnight screening on the 25th.
Is that a Saturday?
It could be. I don't know.
That
anyway, so I bought myself and Joy tickets to it.
Yay.
And I sent Joy a message saying...
Wait, that's a fucking Wednesday.
Yeah, grand.
I better...
You'll be grand, don't worry about it. Fucking Infinity War, Joy.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to be like really tired.
We're all going to be really tired.
Like, no, I'm going to be super tired. Sorry. I'm not really sorry though. Go on.
I sent Joy a message saying, Joy, I got us the tickets for the midnight of Infinity War. You don't have to pay me back on the one condition that there will be no whispering, no speaking, no talk.
Fingering.
Yeah, I when I wrote speaking, it auto-corrected to fingerling because my phone is just awful.
Can I read the rest in dramatic voice?
Yeah, go on ahead.
I'll start at the very beginning.
See, I don't ever get to tell my stories.
Okay, yeah, because I'm really good at dramatic readings. Come on.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I got us 2 tickets for the midnight screening of Infinity Wars. You don't have to pay me back on the condition, dramatic pause, that we watch it, that we sit in silence, each with our own treats. I would steal Cormac shit every time. I actually didn't design. Sorry, I broke character. See, this is why I didn't take up acting. Our own treats and
okay, I'm just going to read the rest of it. Okay. Okay, I got us tickets to the midnight screening of Infinity War. You don't have to pay me back on the condition that we watch it. That as we watch it, we sit in silence with our own treats and sweets. No whispering, no talking, or speaking. Or speaking until the very end of the end credit scene. Joy, what about sign language? Me, out of the question. Joy, smoke signals? Me, we'd be thrown out and I would never speak to you again. I think that's a fair request for a free ticket to a midnight screening.
I only started talking and annoying you. It's because you made me see Blade Runner, and Blade Runner was 3 hours long.
And it was class.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't class. I'm just saying it was 3 hours long. You could have warned me.
I
was
did
knackered.
warn you.
No,
you
did
knew
not.
about the 3 hours before we went in.
No, you didn't. You opened the door, and I was like, "How long is this, Cormac?" And you were like,
Had you sat down before?
No,
exactly. So I gave you forewarning that it was 3 hours long.
Oh, I'm gonna hit him so hard with like the Zoom recorder. Probably it's got a nice edge to it.
Okay.
But hold on, we're getting off track.
We are, as usual. Ryan Johnson, please, get us be in the new Star Wars film.
Stop begging. It's not. It's just sad.
Michael Bay, fuck you.
No, can we just not make enemies with people or sponsors or anyone?
I don't want to make enemies with people. I just want to make enemies with Michael Bay. It's very simple.
Don't hate. Love hate with love. Love hate with love. I think that makes sense.
There's a character from Love Hate in Infinity War. He's playing one of the Black Order.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Niggs, I think his name is.
That sounds familiar. Probably is. Okay, guys. Overall, Blockers was good. I'm gonna kick you. This is not an interruption. This is a summary of the
Okay, go on.
Thank you. Blockers was a pretty good film.
No.
Oh.
It had potential, but it.
Oh, come on! Look, average cinema goers who want to have a good laugh because miserable world is miserable.
Yeah.
It's a good film to go to. If you want something deep and meaningful, no, it's not a deep and meaningful.
Just wait for Infinity War.
Yeah, just wait.
Fuck Michael
Just
Bay.
this is a good film. I enjoy this. I'm really proud of the director. She's a good writer, and I'm really delighted that her first film came out because comedy is hard.
Okay, it's not a fantastic film. It's fine.
Oh my god! Why
you gave your opinion. I'm giving mine.
But I just don't understand why you really don't like this film.
No,
it's not so bad to hate it. Like
I know it's not so bad to hate it. Therefore,
like A Wrinkle in Time was bad.
Yeah, we were gonna do the podcast on that, but then Joy just went and saw it without me and didn't say.
Well, you don't plan quick enough, and I was last minute, and I'll be glad to be didn't because it was like a big giant Oprah, and that was just weird. I felt like I was on acid or something. It was really weird.
Wow. Okay.
It was bad. Like that was bad.
Okay, off track. Let me get my opinion in. You had yours. It's not a fantastic film. It's fine. It has a lot of potential, a lot of lost potential. Direction was great. Acting was great. Ike, I really want to see in a lot of films. Ryan Johnson, please hire me. Fuck you, Michael Bay. You know, it's solid 5 out of 10.
Jesus.
Yeah.
6 maybe. 6, 7. No, not 7, sorry. 6. I would go 6.
5.5.
I would think it's more than 50%. I don't think it's that bad.
I couldn't go more than 50% because every time I started to really like it, they brought it back.
Yeah, but the goods I think are like
the more disappointed I am in a film, the less I like it.
So kind of disappointed. Like you said, oh, I'm really disappointed. This film could have been better.
It could have been a lot better. Yeah,
I wanted to succeed.
Yeah, it lost its potential. I'm sorry. Go and see it. It's it's a great laugh and everything. But
okay, now I understand because for me it's just like oh, it's a crap film. I'm like, well,
no, did I say it was a crap film?
No, but
I said it was an awful film.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, Corbin. Like that line. I don't know. Look, we're probably never going to watch this film again.
That's true. Ryan Johnson, don't watch this film. Don't get any ideas.
Yeah, because Ryan Johnson is listening.
He could be listening. You don't know this. Have you checked their comments?
There's no comments.
Oh, guys, come on. Please comment. We need some
Yeah,
some
hey,
exposure.
Ryan Johnson's not going to watch your fucking video.
Hey. Whoever
I
wrote
don't
that
like
comment.
your girlfriend. No way. Sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, let's finish this now.
Okay, thank you guys for listening. We will see you for Infinity Wars.
Yeah. That was awesome. We didn't plan that
out. Ow. Jesus, Cormac. What's in your fucking hand? Wait, which hand is it?
Alright, now guys.